Hey up, welcome back to the Man Cave Workshop, and thank you so much for joining me again. I'm thinking this is going to be the final on this Roberts R505. Again, thank you for all the comments that have been put in the comment sections over the last couple of videos on this. They've really helped me get along, and I've took the advice, done everything that's been put in the comments, and I think this radio is stable now and working as it should. I just wasn't confident. I'd not seen a radio have that surge spike jump as much as this one does when you switch it on. Which in the comments again in the last video, I think it was mentioned that changing this 10 UF capacitor here to a 22 would bring that surge down, but I've got kind of confident with it now. I've also checked these two output transistors for shorts, and there isn't any, and I've reattached them to the chassis because there's no shorts on them. I totally understand the reasoning of pulling them away from the chassis, but I can't hear that much improvement in audio quality, so I've just put them back as Roberts intended them to be when they made them. Also, what's been done? Oh, I need to check on the... This was mentioned not in the comments, it was a message sent to me to just have a look at this resistor here, which is R51, and it's on the main power rail in next to the two capacitors that have been changed, and it should be 330 ohm. So this is pretty much my last test on this radio. Then I'm going to get on with the case and call it done. I don't think I can do anything more to it. I've had it running for about an hour and a half with no issues at all. So I'm testing this resistor in circuit. It should be 330 ohm and it's 326. That ain't far out, is it? So I think we'll leave that be. I think all the electrical work I've needed to do it to get it stable and working has been done. So let's just switch it on, watch it go bang. So this is on FM.
Yeah, real problems.
Obviously the speaker's not in its case, so it's actually performing okay. Let's put it on medium wave. Like I say, I've had it going for nearly 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's been fine.
One thing about bright winning season, do they have that cutting edge?
It's fine until I put my fingers around the back and short something out. So that's medium wave and long wave.
Do you recognize those parts? Who are the else beloved?
So it's all working, and to be fair, I think it's performing quite well. I've got to the point now I'm that confident that I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to get a PP9 battery and put it on. So here we go, the PP9 battery. Let's put it on. There is no safety net now with any current limiter or anything. I don't know why I'm nervous, but I am. But here we go. Let's switch it on. This is FM. It's working. FM, medium wave,
Wood round the back of
and long wave. So yeah, it's working. One final test I want to do is that this does. Let me go and get it. Just a minute. Right, I've just turned the set over. It will take a 9-volt DC mains transformer power supply. So I guess we've got to test it on that as well. But interesting reading some of the comments. I never know if the videos go on too long, are they too boring. I think some people, if they were, you just skip through, wouldn't you? Or you just wouldn't watch them. One person was saying longer the better, but there's only so much you can say when you're working. Right, so this is from the DC power supply, which is a negative pin. Let's see if it goes bang now.
I heard the jive earlier on as well, by the way, about Bristol.
Again, all working. Apologies if you had headphones on there. I should turn the volume down in between station bands, really, shouldn't I? Well, there we go. I'm going to call that good. And now I'm going to carry on with the cosmetic work on the case, get it all back together, and say it's done. So what we'll do with the cosmetics is, first of all, pull all the knobs or buttons off, whatever you want to call them. Actually, they're coming off very easy, these. Oh, it has to happen, doesn't it? As soon as you say something like that, you get an awkward one. Oh, the collar's come off. This doesn't want to come off at all. There we go. Eventually. Oh, and we've got a bright for that, haven't we? So that needs gluing back on. Right, let's move this bit out of the way. That's been serviced and working fine as far as I'm concerned anyway. What I'm going to do is get a little dish, put these in some soapy water for a bit, and then get a toothbrush on them and just clean them. So while them not dog barking, while them knobs or buttons, whatever you want to call them, are soaking, I'm going to do these stripes. Now I use just this stuff, just chalkboard paint. I've had no problem with it whatsoever. I find it blends into this black really well. And if they're really far gone, these, what you can do is you can use this. This was from a fellow YouTuber tip as well. You can use this fine masking tape and mask off the silver lines. Well, this one isn't that far gone. So what I'm going to do is just by hand, while the dog barks its head off, just by hand and a brush, I've just poured some of that paint into one of these that you use for your washing machine. You put your washing liquid in. Yeah, to make sure. Yeah, that'd do a really nice wash, wouldn't it? So what I do, I'll get the magnifier down. Well, obviously everything's in my way, but just to show you, and then just by hand, just touch. Let's get it so you can't see anything at all. Yeah, just through a magnifier, just touching. Of course, I made a right mess of that because the camera's in the way. I'll just go around and touch it all in. You get the idea. I'm gonna go ahead and do that without the camera being in my face, and show you when it's done. Okay, so that's the grill face done. See, it looks a lot better. There's still the tiniest tiny bits here and there, but once you've done the bigger pieces, I think I've got a little bit of paint on that chrome there. I'll just wipe that off after. Once you've done the bigger pieces, it's much more pleasing to the eye. Oh, I didn't show you the Danish oil on the ends. That had 3 coats. As you can see, that looks really nice now. Really brings out the colour of the wood, that Danish oil. What's to do next is there is a nick in the Rexine here. So what I'm going to do with that, this paint's still wet here, I'll have to be careful, is again using this power glue. I'm just going to put a tiny drop of the power glue into it to really stop it going any worse. You know, so it can't spread then once this is in, if it gets caught on anything. It's good, this power glue, but we're working in pretty cold conditions in the workshop, so there we go. So that's going to stop that getting any worse. And to finish it, again, I'm just going to use. I want to show you the size of it. I've got little thumbs, and it really is a tiny mark, this. But I'm just going to put a dab of paint in again to take the eye away from it, really. There's a couple of nicks here, and it looks like they look like heat nicks. Something's touched it that's been hot. Okay. Right, the thing to do now is to give the whole thing, well, assemble it next. Let it all dry off, get them buttons cleaned, and assemble it. Yeah, okay. Okie dokie, it's time to get the handle back on. So like I said in the previous video, these little washers that can be a real pain. I bent one of the arms, legs, star bits up. So I'm just bending it back now. And I'll just do one side, then you can see how I'm going to get it back on. So, handle I've cleaned up with soap and water again. Come up really nice. So I pop this bit through thole. And what I do is, which one did I bend straight? Let's just make sure we're all bent straight again with this. What I do is hold the handle on one side, get this lined up. It's going to go all wrong, this, isn't it? So it's lined up, and then I just get a socket that fits, and I just push it on with that. And there we go. Lift it up so you can see. So that's pushed back in all nice and even. It's not going to come off. And I'll just do the other side. So it's time now for me to put this bodge speaker back in. So the chassis is laid up this end, and the speaker wires I've just pulled through. You get quite a generous, let me show you. You get quite a generous amount of speaker wire with this set. And now, if you remember before when I took it out, this speaker had its original wires on there, and then they'd soldered, the bodger had soldered these wires to them. I thought, what's the point in that? I might as well just tack these on. And this is until eventually, you know, I'll keep my eye out for an original roller speaker. So I'm just going to tack these on. What I'm going to do first is put a bit of the old flux on. I know there's flux in solder cable, but when these looked a bit dull, and I just want to get this on pretty quick. There's still a lot of. I should clean these up really, but I'll do that if another speaker comes along. I'll be keeping my eye on eBay. By the way, while I'm doing this, this set I did buy off that auction site that I've just mentioned, and it was just on cheap, really cheap. You can sort of tell why now. And the capacitors that I've put in cost more than the actual radio cost on the auction. There's one. Oh no, it's not took it. Oh gosh, I should have cleaned these up, shouldn't I? That's me talking about the bodger, and then what I'm doing. Making a right pig's ear of it. It's because these are not designed to go onto this speaker, but I'm very reluctant. I don't want to pull them spades off. Let's clean this one up a bit. This is full of mess. Let's just get these tacked on because they're not going to be on forever. There we go. Oh my god. Let's get a bit more solder on. I am filming this going off what one of the comments said, oh, the longer the better, but it can get the longer the more boring. Talking about that, I do other things in the Man Cave workshop that aren't radio related. And as we're in lockdown, this is why you've noticed I've put a flurry of videos up, because I'm off work, furloughed at the moment, so I've actually got some spare time. And I thought it'd be nice to put videos up for people to watch that are perhaps furloughed as well, or just got a bit of extra time on their hands. So in the comments, if you want to see some other stuff that goes on in the man cave workshop that's not radio related, I can put a couple of videos out on other little projects that are going on in the background. Let me know. Anyway, let me know. I'm going to get this speaker back in now. Right, okay, so speaker's back in with that unusual design clamping system. To be fair, I keep saying bodger, you know, I haven't changed the speaker, have I? And if somebody obviously been using this radio and the speaker must have blown and they've just used their initiative, is that right? We've got to clear this, and made up that clamping system, rednecked it a bit, and it worked. So yeah, I shouldn't really call that work too much, because I probably would have done the same. Okay, couple of screws left now. Let's get these back in. Let's trap them wires while we do it. Get them screws back in, get the buttons back on, and have a look at it. Right, screws back in, buttons, knobs back on. Looks good. Looks better than it did before. Turntables are the right way up now. If you remember, it was on upside down because it had broke off. Last thing to do now is to put a PP9 battery in and see what it sounds like all back in the case. What I do like to do at the end when I finish one is use some of this automotive stuff. This is Lemon Fragrance Cockpit Shine by Granville. And I just think it finishes off the radio really nice, you know, just as an end polish. It smells nice as well, but when you spray that much on and you're breathing it in, oh, that lemon hits the lungs, it really does. While I'm wiping this down, like I say, I'll keep these videos coming if you want, and there might be some other stuff other than radios, but if you're wondering what Man Cave Workshop's all about, I just try to be myself. I don't try to copy anybody's channel or anything. I'm not looking to be a superstar YouTuber or anything like that. I just think it's nice to put the camera rolling when you're doing a bit of work for people to watch. And I really appreciate, what really gets me is the comments when you start reading them and people are giving you advice when you get stuck. I mean, if you're going to do this to yourself, well, why not? I talk about a camera. I just use an old Samsung phone that I've got lying about and just record on that. Seems to do an okay job. Anyway, let's get the battery in. Watch it go bang right at the end. Oh, I put this in the wrong way. Is there a way of putting them in? I don't know. Just make sure it's switched off. Obviously rest it on its knob so they all get damaged. PP9 battery, how does it fit in? It kind of goes like that, I think. Does that go back on? Yeah. I say, if you do make a YouTube video, after this I'm going to go off and watch some other people on YouTube. I think it's great entertainment. But if you're doing it and it goes a bit Pete Tong, it's not end of world, is it? It's it's just a bit of fun. Right, okay. Let's switch it on VHF. We've got sound. I'll just, with the aerial, I'll put some oil on it and stuff. I don't want it to catch on the arm that I've got this camera phone on. So I'll just hold on to it to give it a bit of a chance.
You have to stay in the pub and you can't leave your hotel. But it was great, you know, it was just a boxing community that are in the hotel.
Right, let's turn the volume down and put it on medium wave. Just in case you're wearing headphones, because I've noticed it can make a right reek noise, can't it?
was a kind of nothing situation, and Ben, well, his honesty, I mean, Ben's, I thought he was superb, me, by the way, but his honesty to go for the ball, and he's just nicked it, and that's kept their lad onside rather than offside.
And did it distract Tarkowski a bit, did it?
No, I'm just thinking that maybe the miscommunication, if he sees it.
So yeah, medium wave works, and as you can tell, it's a directional radio. That ferrite rod, these are made with them on the bottom, so you can turn it round to get the best reception. Right, what did we do? We did medium wave. Let's do a long wave.
Which frankly neither I nor Boris Johnson would have recognised from the exchange.
I guess the reason they did is it was known that before he became Prime Minister, and certainly after he became Prime Minister, there was lots of talk from him, from Michael Gove, certainly.
Sounded like Alan Titchmarsh that for a minute then, didn't it? But it isn't.
To give the man from Whitehall, which you were then the symbol, of course, a big kick up the backside. And that's why it was seen that way. Did you feel it?
So there we go. I've rambled on a little bit in this video, but it's all there just for entertainment. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love to read any comments you put in. If you do subscribe to the channel, thank you very much, but it's not really what it's all about for me. If you do subscribe, you're probably better off not pressing that bell icon, because the last 3 days I've put a video on every single day, and it might get annoying, but that's up to you. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. As always, be good to each other. Catch you.